I apologize in advance if we get interrupted by a cat or a dog. They're around my space right now. But I wanted to try to review some things with you with our bodies that we were doing in math so that you could try to feel connected. So first of all, when we're talking about our new geometry unit, we've been talking about a lot of different features that have different definitions. And a lot of them you might know already. Some of them we might need to practice just a little bit. Like one of them is a point. And a point is the exact location on a space, on a grid. And so we like to show it by just a punch, a point. Punch. So this is a point, okay? And then we have our line. Our line is straight out. But we also have an arrow on each side. So an arrow on each side. If we're talking about a ray, we have an endpoint on one side and an arrow on the other. Now this can go either direction. So I can have my endpoint on this side and my arrow on the other. So we also have a line segment where we'd have an endpoint on each side. So you can kind of practice those with your body. Try them with me. All right, show me a point. Show me a line segment. With my endpoints. All right, show me a ray. Sorry, sometimes brains don't work. Okay. And show me a different ray. Oop, see, there goes arrow on the other side. Show me a line. All right, so those are some of those features. And of course, they're not necessarily always going to be straight out like our horizontal line. Sometimes they could be tilted, but they still have to have those features. So the line has to have an arrow on each side. A ray has to have an arrow on one side and an endpoint on the other. A line segment has to have an endpoint on each side. There are also ways that you might have noticed in your textbook or in the notes that we show that it's an endpoint, if it's a line segment, or a ray. If it's a line segment, then we name it by the letters that are on the, on the line. So if it says A on one side and B on the other, it's going to be line A, B. And above it is going to be a bar. And that bar is not going to have anything on it. It's not going to have any arrows and it's not going to have any points. It'll just be a bar. And that shows that it's a line segment. If it's a line, then we would name it the same way. We'd name it with the two letters that are on each end of the line that we're looking at. But above the two letters, it would have an arrow on each side of that line. So it would be a line with two arrows. If it's a ray, name it the same way. We need to make sure that the first letter of array, though, is the one that's next to the endpoint. So if the endpoint is T and the rest of the line is S, we need to make sure that we have a T first and then the S. But array wouldn't have the dot on it, but it would have an arrow just to one side. And that's how you show that when you're writing it. So I'm going to pause this to make it a shorter video, then I'll come back and talk about parallel, intersecting, and perpendicular lines.